headlights.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the next episode of Blinker Fluid with Adam and Soch. Soch, when you buy blinker fluid, are you buying halogen or are you buying LED?
Right now, LED. Just because I want to stay to the older, before people were thinking halogens were cool and LEDs were the best.
Very nice, very nice. So this guy sends me a message on Facebook the other day with a Dodge Stratus.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the Dodge Stratus was done up, but, I'm looking at this thing, and it's like, okay, you see a picture of a hot girl, and you're looking at it, and then you look closer, and you realize it's your cousin. It just... I had the weirdest boner with this car, dude. I didn't know what to do with it. It was done up right. It looked good, but it was a Dodge Stratus. Oh, yeah. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, yeah. It was something spicy, and when we talked about it on the last podcast, we were talking about just the random cars of groups on Facebook that you've seen people with being enthusiasts in, and that was one of them. And I just saw the car, and this guy had the car for over a decade. He bought the car from being at a junkyard, daily drove it, went through so many motors, and then during the recent pandemic, he's like, screw it, I want to build something. It was sitting in his yard. He said, why not this?
People will fix anything up. And hey, it's good to be original, something different. You don't see that everywhere. So it was kind of refreshing in that sense.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't a Sebring, so that was all right. So I'm driving back from the mountains the other day, and this is a mini rant. I passed the park where there was a meet going on. A lot of cars out there, a lot of American Muscle stuff. We drive past to that, and it looked like a car club was leaving. There was a Challenger, Chargers, Camaro, and this Corvette, early 2000s Corvette. Now, I'm not a Corvette guy, but this was a good-looking car. It was lowered, had some kind of a wide-body kit on it. Mm-hmm. Then the guy revs it, and I swear he had a Redenbacher exhaust. Orville Redenbacher, the popcorn maker.
Yeah.
It just pop, 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 pop. I'm like, dude, really? Go buy a Borla or something that sounds good. I mean, is that just the thing? People are unbolting their mufflers and calling it a day?
Right now, that's what I'm guessing.
Like, dude, you put all this money into the car, and the exhaust sounds like that.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a taste.
Maybe it's a thing. I don't know. You're tuning it so that it runs too rich and it pops out the back. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I hear it with a lot of the American Muscle cars. It used to be the Civics back in the day would do that, and pop, 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 pop everywhere. And I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I personally have seen them coming up in BMWs, Volkswagen, stuff like that as what they've called the pop tune, quote unquote pop tune. Mm. And all you're doing is making your motor detonate. You're just making it screw up to make it make crazy noises because it looks cool.
Yeah, and I guess it's taste. And, being obnoxious, we did it with the stereos. I don't get it. It's not maybe I'm too old. I don't know. I don't get it. I'd rather just buy a nice exhaust system that sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
You go out to the autocross and the cars sound good. Mm-hmm. It's not popping and everywhere. But that's people that are fixing cars up for power versus just trying to be obnoxious, I guess.
That's true. It's the people that are going there and trying to see what their car can do physically and not what your car can do on just a road.
True.
Yeah.
Speaking of autocross, you went out and raced the BMW, the first autocross.
Yes.
How was that? That's a good looking car.
It was addicting. I hope that in time I could find a V8 version, the 540, and that thing, I know just because of the potential of what that car is to what a 540 can be, which the E36 is the M3 version, the E39 is the 540, which is the 5 Series, the M5. And I've had the chance to drive both of those in my life, and I love the E36, but boy, the way that it handled in autocross, took the corners, smashed the gas. I dumped the clutch a couple times just to try to get the tires to spin, but the Falcon, I forgot the name, the RT6660s, those things are spicy tires, and they grip.
You were hauling around.
Oh, yeah, that was the fastest I ever drove in that parking lot.
That's awesome. Yeah, the thing looked like it cornered like crazy.
Oh, yeah, the KW suspension, I don't remember the exact specs, but yeah, KW suspension and very lightweight, gutted. It was meant to do what it was out there to do.
Nice. We were up at Caliber, I don't even know what today is, Tuesday? Thursday? I don't know. Yesterday, we were up there, and they've got a LS swapped BMW that they're going to bring out to the track at the end of the month.
Oh, yeah.
And that thing is nuts.
Oh, yeah.
They were saying it could be tuned to about 1,200 horsepower.
Oh, they have it down tuned just so that it'll last on the whole track. Right. That's what it is.
Go through about a set of tires each time. You know, you're talking 335s, nice wide tires. But this thing was a monster.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, that's so that car was actually a 4-cylinder. It was the 320, I think is what it is, the random 2-liter 4-cylinder.
Okay.
And he wanted to do big racing with that car, but certain like the recent race that they tried to do, he got kicked out of his class because it's only supposed to be a 2-cylinder upgrade of a vehicle.
Oh wow.
So if he had the inline 6 going to the V8 would have kept him in the competition, but that knocked him out. And I mean, this car is 100% meant to be on button willow, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. And just because of something that small keeps you from doing certain competitions. But it saved him so much money. It saved him like $3,000 at the time from buying a 6-cylinder inline to a 4-cylinder because all he was doing was ripping it apart.
Yeah, so if you're swapping it, the shell doesn't matter where you get it from.
But as soon as they checked the VIN, that's what they saw, and it's like, you can't do it because it's supposed to go up only 2 cylinders and you're a 4.
Yeah, it's neat. We'll put a picture up in the video. Wide body kit, I mean, roll cage.
It's angry.
Yeah, monster of a motor inside this thing. So yeah, they're going to bring that out, and Mikey was saying, hopefully if anyone's brave enough, they'll get in and go for a ride, and you get tired driving it. You know, he said you get fatigued going around, and he was saying the same thing with his Toyota, the AE86, with the manual steering. You know, you get enough runs in with that thing, and when they were out at Famosa, it's a workout.
Oh yeah, that's a handful of a vehicle.
Yeah, you'll get spoiled like the modern cars with power steering and all that.
Oh yeah, yeah. What is it? A 1UZ V8, which is the 4.0, which is a Lexus LS400, I think is what the motor is, and it's in a little 8.6 tin can Torino. No, yeah, his was a Torino that he front swapped to a Levin.
The Levin, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh yeah,
thing's a beast.
I had the chance to witness him at Button Willow. I was in the passenger seat, and it's all on my YouTube channel. Him romping this thing. I couldn't tell you the exact corner names because they have actual names for the certain bends and turns at Button Willow. The CW13 course, because there's a few different ones there, but that's the only one I've been able to witness is that layout, the CW13, and. The first 3 laps, the tires were barely that warm, and he was like, "Get ready." Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I have not gotten the chance to witness it in the cockpit or in the car for autocross.
Right.
But it's still, I mean, it's a day and night difference from racing in a parking lot with cones only doing 60 miles an hour, and you're on the open road of a track, foot to the floor, and God, the noise of that V8 was stuck in my head for 3 days.
Oh. We went for a ride back past the shop, back where he lives up in the foothills up there.
Oh yeah. I took Yang back there in his car when he got the alignment done. The roads back there are smooth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's freshly paved, lots of curves, but yeah, riding that Levin was just, I would take that over a supercar any day. It just hugs the road. It's crazy.
And he built that car to what he wanted. He didn't build it to where anyone else was happy about it but himself. And that's why I give him so much respect on that car. It sat for 13 years.
Yeah.
He had that car for 13 years, hoping that it was going to be built. And
I don't have that kind of patience, I'm afraid.
It would have gone through 3 other owners by then with you.
Not enough patience, and I'd be looking for the air conditioning switch. So that's,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's another spicy vehicle right there.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So, yeah, he's hoping to bring that out to Button Willow. Should be some good racing out there at the end of the month.
Yep.
Should be fun. We're going to get a drone out there to drone track some of the vehicles along the track and get some cool shots of those cars out there going fast.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking to him about during the lunch break to try to get a couple cars out on track just to get some spicy shots right there by the beginning start line. So I'll have people come out of the exit way, take some shots, and then go back through the entrance way so it's not too crowded.
Nice.
I'm still talking about it because that's what we did at the KW event when, I forgot his name. One of the big photo guys was out there, and it was awesome. I'm Larry Chan. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
He's one of the huge guys. He's like literally the god, and I forgot his name. I'm so sorry if he ever hears me say that I forgot his name. But yes. So he was out there taking photos. He actually has a picture with Mikey's car on track. I hope I could do that one day, but I'm not going to push my luck. I'm just going to try to keep the car stationary because this is a private event.
Right.
So They have the shebang of fire trucks, everything out there. So we are ready to send it.
Very cool. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Dale. He's got the auto news for us. And then when we come back, we're going to bring in Carlos and maybe Pat here at Van Ness Auto. And they're going to tell us some of their crazy stories working on cars.
Once again, it's Dale Mel with what I call Cars Are Us News. The loud car sounds of a car driving too quickly on the road is from the film The Driver, 1978, with Ryan O'Neal and Bruce Dern. Now, I'm going to use that segment during my entire newscast from The Driver. But first, let's check the news from Dearborn, Michigan. Ford has officially produced their 40 millionth F-Series pickup, rolling out on the line in Dearborn at their Dearborn truck plant in Michigan. The lucky truck is a 2022 F-150 outfitted with all the trimmer package, similar to what we recently showcased during the quick spin of the 2021 F-250 Super Duty. The 40th F-Series was finished in iconic silver paint, accented by the trimmer's orange and black graphics, grille, and front tow hooks. Land Rover has officially opened up orders for the 2023 new Range Rover family, including the extended range plug-in hybrid SUV and their flagship SV model. The 2023 new Range Rover P440e extended cab will start at $106,250 after destination fees. While official EPA numbers are yet to be announced, Land Rover estimates an all-electric range of 48 miles. It will offer 50 kW DC rapid charging architecture, allowing the vehicle to recoup up to 80% in under an hour. There's word out on the 2022 Jeep Range Wagoneer. The last decade has seen tremendous growth in all things SUV, with some brands dropping traditional cars altogether. Now let's talk about the past. Talk about cars. Talk about cars in movies. Talk about car chases in movies. There's three in particular that I want to talk about, not The Driver, but I will add to that at the end. All the following films I'm going to talk about were produced by Philip D. Antonelli. And we start with Bullitt. What was it about Bullitt I'd want to bring up now? Well, the 1968 Mustang GT, driven mostly by Bob Keynes, not Steve McQueen, sold for $3.3 million on the auction block. That's impressive. There were two Mustangs and there were two Chargers. Steve McQueen got into an accident during filming. The Mustang GT that he had a 390 engine with 325 horsepower. The 68 Charger was a 440 Magnum with 350 horses. The Mustang was an automatic with engine and shifting noises added in post-production. The director, Peter Yates, had to have the Charger slow down sometimes during filming so the 325 horsepower Mustang could keep up. Slow the Charger down. Next, the French Connection from 1971. The car was a 1971 Pontiac Le Mans. William Friedkin, the director, did not have permits to film the driving sequences under the subway in New York. The stunt driver actually hit a car for real that was just driving by under the subway, and damn it, that was real. The driver of the car during the scene was Bill Hickman in the Pontiac. He was in the Pontiac Le Mans. The stunts in that movie were very dangerous. Now let's get to the third one. The larger car in the movie The 7-Ups with Roy Scheider, that was a Pontiac Ventura model. The driver in the Pontiac was, again, Bill Hickman. The Chevy Nova was a regular Nova with sped-up film and fake engine and shifting effects. The Chevy Nova was an automatic. Philip D. Antonelli, he directed the third film, The 7-Ups, and Philip produced all three films. And that wraps up my thoughts, once again, on Cars Are Us.
Thank you very much, Dale. We appreciate all that information. Yeah, I believe in American Graffiti it was the same situation. The Deuce Coupe was exceptionally slow, and to get it to keep up with Harrison Ford's car, they had to, fake it on the film so it looked like they were both going pretty quick.
The struggle.
You gotta love it. Gotta love it. I don't know what it had. Deuce Coupe must have had a 4-banger or something, but it's nuts. It's nuts. Cool deal. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back, and we'll bring in the mechanics and get some crazy stories from working on cars. Be right back.
It takes more than just hard work, commitment, and a long history of excellence to create the perfect land vehicle. It takes passion. It takes guts. And most of all, it takes 14 years of merciless abuse. Introducing the special edition used 2000 Toyota Echo. Built by craftsmen, driven by champions. Like a fine wine, this Toyota Echo has been gracefully aging since the turn of the century. And now the reins of this epic man chariot are ready to be passed on. The only question is, are you worthy? With the driver airbag removed to reduce unnecessary weight, this wildebeest is trimmed for speed. Feel the power of 58 horses as they propel you from 0 to 60 in 17 seconds flat. Tame the open road with the wind at your back and enjoy premier safety features such as seatbelts and turn signals. This vehicle conveniently comes with 4 tires for hugging those corners effectively, and it has a rear trunk that you can put stuff in. Other unique features include no grille for improved engine cooling, one-of-a-kind gear select knob fashioned out of a high-grade roofing nail and Gorilla Glue, a loud squealing pulley belt that alerts other drivers that your air conditioning is on. The right front quarter panel is in excellent condition. Doubles as a golf cart. Nobody has ever had sex in this vehicle, nor will you. If you're lucky enough to pre-qualify for this once-in-a-lifetime event, can you handle it? This vehicle is not considered street legal in 42 states. Please consider your safety and the safety of others before purchase. Not regulated by the NTSB or designed to diagnose, treat, prevent, or cure disease. This vehicle is actually for sale. Purchase at your own risk.
All right, folks, we are back, and with us is Carlos. He is a master mechanic here at Van Ness Auto. Dude, what is the craziest shit you've seen in a car or found in someone's vent? There's got to be some crazy stories, man.
A clown mask, a huge dildo, industrial bucket of lube. No, shit, it was the craziest stuff. Just completely unexpected. Like, you see a lot of meth,
Do you really?
Yeah, and it's crazy. There's a couple car seats in the back, and it's a mother, and the husband works at a hospital, and you're like, holy shit.
So normal people that you wouldn't think.
Yeah, sad sometimes, really.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's like the Fresno thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Dude, you're a downer.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
This is going to be fun. I'm ready to cry, man.
It's sad sometimes. And then, you get a little bit of everything. You get people that, like, you always think they're a little weird, and you pop their trunk, and, yeah, you see, like, oh, wow, this dude's kind of a cross-dresser. Like huge boots with the heel, but they're, like, too big to be a dainty woman's. They're like, oh, it's always kind of made sense, so. You
don't empty your car before you take it to the repair shop? Thinking they might be looking through your car to work on stuff?
It's there for service. I'm going to check the trunk. Why would you check the trunk? People thinking, check the spare, so I got to check tire pressure. Bam. You see crazy stuff. You see, drug use. Yeah, people you would not expect. The daughters down from Berkeley, and they live on Van Ness Boulevard, and you see mirrors with, like, you could tell they were bumping lines, and it's like, what, really? Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
You don't think of it as a wild job. It's like, you're wrenching on cars, whatever, and next thing you know, you're getting shot at.
Yeah, exactly.
By the neighbor across the street.
Yeah.
True story.
True story, yeah. 2 weeks ago, took 2 shots at me. What are the chances are they hit the striker on the door handle on the passenger side? I mean, I couldn't do that if I tried a bunch of times, and it just so happened, bam, bam. Yeah, they both went through there, so.
Dang.
Yeah, lucky. I had to go to church and give thanks and go through that.
Gotta be thankful for that.
Yeah, then you get the pushy church dude that says, hey, you want to give your life to Christ? I'm like, hey, man, you should sell used cars. You're pretty good, bud. But I'm going to pass, I'm just here to say thanks for Mom's prayers. But, crazy stuff.
Or you get the customer that doesn't bolt the tire on all the way. And
yeah, I got a crazy story about that. A certain customer, might be sitting here on a podcast, who knows, but didn't torque it down all the way. And, I'm out test driving, and I hear, or I feel loose, and I'm like, no way. Next thing you know, the tire's taking off in front of me, and I'm pulling over and trying to brake, and Yeah, luckily there's a weld shop down the street, and they pulled out a jack, and I went after the tire. The tire hit some old truck, by the way.
Didn't know that one.
And I just rolled it back, put it on, and got out of there. You know, yeah.
Is the audience allowed to know which one it was? Because there's a lot of cars.
It was the Baja.
Oh no!
Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna say that.
I had to ask. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
I'll own it.
It was gonna be like what's that show? You know, the names of the characters.
Yeah.
in this.
Protect the innocent.
Protect the innocent.
Yeah, not innocent on that one. Sorry.
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah, crazy stuff, man.
It's an adventure being a mechanic.
There's never a dull moment. You know, you're in it's the oldest shop in California, second oldest in the nation, still operating. So it has its fame, and people come from all over. And you know, sometimes they even dress up. I had a group of old men. They're dressed up as old gas station attendants.
Really?
And they're taking pictures and stuff. And turns out
Dude, that's kind of rad.
I was joking. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a barbershop quartet. And they pulled out because I don't know, you know, and they started.
Got in tune and started
got
singing
their melody, and I'm like, I was just talking shit, you know,
Dude, that's kind of awesome though.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's kind of awesome.
yeah.
They show up in like a 1927 car with the wooden wheels and
they had a a real old collectible, maybe like a 50s model. Which was not the right era, but it just kind of fit the picture.
That's pretty cool.
You know, because of the old fuel pumps and the old oil pumps, because everything back then was hand pumped. So there's still that, what's the word? Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Just a shop. But crazy enough, it's Fresno. Some piece of shit tried stealing the oil pumps. Little did they know we had filled it with gravel.
Yeah, so what are you going to do with it?
So when I showed up to work one day, there was a bumper. They were smart enough to pick up their license plate, but the bumper had pulled off.
They were trying to knock it over with the car and drag it?
It was still on the chain. Yeah, they're on a truck. Little did they know, that thing weighs a few tons. And wham, they pulled their bumper right off.
Yeah, I've looked at it because one of the lids is off. You can see it's filled with concrete.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
It's not going anywhere.
I think I might have a bumper in the back still.
Hang that on the wall for
real.
Hey, we got a trophy from this idiot.
It reminds me, I got to take that down to scrap.
Recycle that.
Yeah, make some money.
Profit.
But yeah, there's always something somewhere. It's dangerous too. Just yesterday we had an employee got smacked in the face by an engine because it was on the hoist. It wasn't on there supported right.
Man. And
he pushed out of the way and he got smacked. It was good. He pushed out of the way, But I've had.
Was this the rookie or was this?
Yeah, it was a rookie. Yeah.
Rookie.
Yeah. I mean, I've had the lift fail and car fall on me, and luckily I pushed out in time, But yeah, we got all that fixed now. But it could be that quick too. Just much like parking a car across the street, crazy neighbor take shots at you.
So it sounds like being a vet, that was safer being out at war than this.
I mean, I never got that much direct contact, to be honest. We just got martyred a whole bunch,
Yeah.
But no big deal, You could see them coming, you could hit a bunker, but you don't expect, not here.
No, it's pretty chill usually when I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, other than when the
Beautiful
guy comes
area.
up and, shows you his third nipple, but...
Or the guy that
That was
showed me his
weird.
belly button the first day I was
You
here.
get some characters, that's for sure.
That's just hilarious.
He has the nickname Uncle Touchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the uncle that the family would not leave you alone with. You know what I mean? But some of those people, they are just loaded. They can't lose. Their family set them up right, and they have properties up and down California.
And enough cars to keep you going.
Yeah, they just collect, and that's the thing. He buys pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
We get them going, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm over this project," and it's like, it's not your project. It was our project.
Right.
I mean, you funded it. I didn't want to work on it in the first place, but. Yeah, there's been plenty of times he pulls up with he has his own car dolly and everything, like a U-Haul one, and I see what he's pulling up, and I'm like, no, bro, and it's like, oh, it's cool, and then, oh man, yeah, I have had this sitting there. He has over 20 vehicles in his house, and they're all registered, all insured, so the neighbors could get as mad as they want.
Better than I am.
He's all legit, yeah. Yeah.
What's the coolest car that's come through?
What's that little German one you got? The blue one that's real low.
The Volkswagen?
Yeah.
The 411?
Yeah, I like that one. I've had a couple of classics cars come in, some hot rods, but real shit, man. I really don't like working on something that nice.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just, they're going to be very particular, the customers, as they should. I would be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like
Hard to find parts.
It's hard to find parts, and they want their vehicle immaculate, and they have the worst timing. I got a show coming, and they don't tell you nothing.
I need it yesterday.
Yeah, and you got it torn apart, and they don't tell you, I got a show this weekend, and and they put their problems on you and make them your problems, but. So it's cool. Yeah, you could pad the bill because no one else is going to work on it.
Right.
You're taking a big liability, big risk, and a lot of those old stuff, parts are old and they could crack. So everything's brittle. So yeah, as nice as they are, I like seeing them come by and they take pictures up front.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool, man. But
just don't bring it into where we're done.
Yeah. So I mean, it's day to day though. We get everything. We don't really. I mean, I choose jobs that come in. There's sometimes I'm like, nah, I'm not going to work on that.
Well, you can tell if it's a headache or not.
It's going to be, a huge pain in the ass. And it's a rare car or, it's this model, but it had this engine and a couple of the same models, so I swapped it over, and the smog referee says it's okay, and let's stop right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got enough work as it is. I'm overwhelmed. You
Yeah.
know?
You guys are nuts.
I can't even kick out your cars,
Every shop's crazy. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, so...
Pandemic did that, I think.
And
stacked them up.
Yeah. Luckily, we have enough work to be able to do that. There's a lot of shops that can't do that.
Right.
Because of the pandemic. Because of, parts got held up. And it screwed up everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really think about it until it finally does affect you. I can't get parts.
Right.
Parts are held up. Why are they on back order? And then you see what's going on TV, and you're like, oh, wow, it's real.
Yeah.
It's very real. So... Yeah, and they're trying to switch everything to full electric, so...
That's going to be an interesting...
Yeah. But...
Go back and get a computer science degree.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it at all. It's just...
There's more
it's still a
than
car.
enough cars out there.
It's going to have its kinks. Give it a few years. It's going to have kinks. Everything's great when it's new. It should be. It's new, But I'm not worried about it because at the same time, brakes, rotors, tires... everything normal wear and tear.
Well, you're already changing batteries out on hybrids like crazy.
Exactly.
I see a Prius in here every time I'm here, and it's getting a battery.
Yeah,
There's one right there in my view.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's nothing out of ordinary. I'm not worried about it. There's always going to be work, and even then, eventually, such as Tesla, they're going to have to give up their patents eventually.
I was going to say that's going to have
they're going
to
to start making parts because there's money in that too.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have the market cornered. I get it, but there's money in selling a patent and letting people, make their parts. So we just got to play it out and see.
Yeah, see what happens. It's not going to be feasible for them to put a Tesla shop in every city. I mean, it's better just to sell the parts and make the money on that.
They're going to be overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're going to be overwhelmed. Who else is going to, really you're going to take everything? Nah, people aren't going to like that.
No.
Because people are always going to like your shop. They're always going to like, that's why we're still here.
Well, the competition alone, I mean, you're getting Lucid and Rivian and other car companies coming up that are going to say, well, we'll open source everything and let you buy the parts. And then what, they're going to be the only one that's proprietary? It's not going to make sense.
And they're doing the same thing Tesla is doing. Mm-hmm. Everything from self-driving to how far they can drive electrically, charging.
Doing it better.
Exactly.
Lucid will go, 550 miles with 1,100 horsepower, and it's more expensive, but it's a damn nice luxury car.
They're good, but you even see, the automatic driver did a pickup, somebody on the bike. I saw that not too long ago,
Right.
And, it's, where's that? But, like I said, everything has its kinks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's so much technology in there, though. And you see, they could even, if you you take it to a graveyard, it'll, pick up people walking.
What?
Yeah.
Tesla will.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Driving in, and they're not the gravestones, but literally you will see the body signs on the sensor on the screen. There's no one around you.
Dude, that's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
There's a few videos out there of them.
Yeah, so technology, what's up?
Yeah.
Get an exorcist before you get in your Tesla.
I mean, it's like, shouldn't it tell if it's a person or a ghost?
You would think.
You would think, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, just keep going.
That's crazy.
Yeah, what if it's a ghost on a bike? And then you're really fucked.
Yeah.
What if they're going across the road like all those old videos where you just see them slightly right next to you? The Tesla going.
I wonder if it'd pick up the Fresno walker or crawlers.
Oh, those things freak
night
me
crawlers?
out. Yeah, they freak me out.
You could use your Tesla to go around ghost hunting.
Yeah. There you go.
Why not?
Yeah, it's never going to stop, man. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be a lot of work. We're always going to be overwhelmed. backed up. And I see people come and go. It's hard. It's hard to keep good techs.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep good techs.
Yeah, I know you guys are having a hard time filling spots.
Oh yeah.
Nobody wanted to work.
Yeah.
Nobody good.
Yeah, or it's too
Everyone
hot.
wants to be lazy.
It's too hot. It's too cold. You guys don't have a better AC system. Hey man, it's an old building. There's a swamp cooler. I don't think it really helps. Unless you're standing right in front of it.
True.
But when you're working, you're gonna be rolling around and up and down. But yeah, man, that's the thing here. You never know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. I've lost fingertips. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's,
Yeah, what's your worst injury working on a car?
that one? The pointer
Fingertip?
finger. Yep. Working in the dark. Working in the dark with the flashlight, trying to get a job done. Got pinched in the back. Couldn't pull it out. It grew back. The fingernail grew back, but I guess I never kept the nail bed clean the whole time.
Right.
So it grew to right there. So they're like, yeah, it's funny. This thing, the doctor just said, yeah, you're just gonna be different.
Join the circus or keep working on cars. One or the other.
They're like, or plastic surgery, and I'm like,
On a
works.
finger?
It works just fine. I can still connect. And
You got 9
disconnect
more.
stuff.
I mean, come on.
True.
It's really just the fingernail tip.
Yeah.
I'm overselling it, really, but yeah.
That's not too bad.
It's
man.
not too bad, yeah. But hey, I've heard stories, old timers come by. Yeah, I've had a buddy and he didn't have it, sitting properly, and it crushed him to death.
Man.
I was like, God damn, I've seen it happen. I've seen, the car was falling. More than once, I got how to get out of there. Yeah.
Well, I have 2 questions for you, one and then a follow-up.
Okay.
So the first one, when did you actually start working on cars? Not as far as doing college to get a license, but when did you first say, I want to put my hands on a vehicle?
Like, you mean professionally or just...
In general, when did your love start for it?
Unfortunately, I'm one of those where I've always been around it. I never really even cared to be a mechanic. I thought I was going to go a different route, but, things happen and, you end up going a different way in life, and it's just there, and I was just doing this part-time. I was like, you want to do it full-time? But I've always been around it. This is my uncle's shop, or shops, plural. So even as a kid, I'd come by, I'd sweep up the shop during the summer, work my summers off. And even then, hey, give me this, give me that tool. So you get, comfortable around it. But I was never enough to where I could say, oh, yeah, I can work on cars. I would say I could do an oil change. I could rotate tires. I know the basic concepts of, removing parts around a block, which is the engine.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it got put on me, like, you want to do it full time, and just took off. But yeah, changing oil, cleaning up a shop. Professionally though, about 5-6 years. Got my master mechanic about 2 years ago. So
Nice.
yeah.
So to follow up with that, so pretty much you it's been in your blood, it's been in your vision as long as you can remember. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
So my question, I have been a loop tech in my life. Your tool game. What was the tool vision when you first started saying, okay, I can start ripping apart blocks to what you have now? What is the technology difference from even, what would you say, 5 years you went professional, or 2 years?
I mean, a lot of it changes with what you're doing. If you're just going to be a loop tech, you're going to have basic tools, oil, filter removal tools, you're just your basic stuff. But you got to build your toolbox. You got to build your box. The shop provides certain stuff, but even then, you want to make sure you don't,
You want to have your own tools to break. That's
That's
how I see it.
Yeah, you want to have your own stuff. And then it really depends how deep you go. Because if you're going to really start wrenching and be more than a loop tech and be an actual tech, and, you're going to be diagnosing, and it takes a lot of tools, a lot of different kits to diagnose, to do a proper diagnostic. Because someone would come in and be like, well, I saw it wasn't leaking. I'm like, okay, well, I pressurized the cooling system and I forced the leak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference between, my cousin or my, brother or whoever, looked at it and I think it's this. Well, that's why I charge a diagnostic fee, because it took time to build this bar. And I'm not stopping, there's always a better tool coming out that's going to make the job easier, which means you're going to get it done faster, which turnaround time, get them in, diagnose it, get it done right, test drive. No one's too good to test drive. I've always been told that by, Jim, the owner. No one's too good to test drive, so make sure everything's right. So it really depends on what you're going to be doing, how deep you're going to get into it. If you're going to be a lube tech, you could get by with the, like I started with the, they sell at Home Depot, that DeWalt, the big DeWalt set.
That's what I started with.
It has everything you really need.
All the sizes.
To do an oil change, everything you really, to foreign and domestic, because it has metric and standard, so you're gonna figure it out what you need, and that's why when I know cars. No, you know your car. You know, you read the owner's manual. You know your car. You don't know cars plural, and they're not the same across the board. You know, they're different. Makes are different. They, like I said, they have their kinks. You know, certain vehicles are known to do this, while others are known, to have other failures. You know, so it really depends. You know, I'm just.
And how many can work
how
on a
deep you wanna
carbureted
get into
vehicle
it.
nowadays?
I struggle with carbureted. You know,
More people can drive a stick.
yeah, I struggle with carbureted because I wasn't taught on that. I was taught fuel injected scanner.
Right.
You know, but those are the real mechanics because you got to play it by ear. You really got to listen to it. You got to tune, and a lot of them are old, so they're deaf.
Yeah, they're the pioneers.
Can't hear the noises.
Yeah, but the boss, he can't hear you what you're saying, but you don't hear that vacuum leak. What are you talking about?
That sounds like my dad.
And he finds, oh shit, okay, so you can hear that, but you don't hear, selective deafness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's real hard, and like the downfall on that is like a lot of people think, I could tune a carburetor on a dirt bike or it's a completely different system. It's like, it's apples and orange. Nah, it's a completely different orchard. It's completely different. Because you're dealing with a whole lot of air to fuel ratio mixture, and you got to get it right.
Right.
And I know the basics, right? But to really get into it, I gladly say, nah, it has to go to the big boss.
And then to try to set a dual carb unit.
Yep.
Pre-smog versus post-smog carburetors.
Exactly. That's California. That's the big deal.
Right.
And that's what knocks off a lot of people give up. They have beautiful cars and they can't get it to smog. It runs great. But if they get it down to specs of smog, it'll fall on its face. Can't even run. They can't even pass a smog test. So, and what are you going to do? Keep a stock one in your garage and drop it in every 2 years. And sometimes the smog comes up every year. And you got to do it again. I just did it last year. Hey, I don't know. I'm not the DMV.
They're hitting people every year on some cars?
I see some when they're like,
Really?
I could swear I got it last year, and I'm like, I don't know. I didn't make the motherfucker, Yeah.
When I recently got the title for my Subaru at the DMV, I heard the person next to me bitching about that.
Yeah.
He
Really?
said, yeah.
I hadn't heard that one yet.
He's like, look at the year. And she's like,
That's
I'm sorry.
crazy.
This is what it says in front of me.
A lot of them, because, I don't know, maybe because they're gross polluters.
Oh, maybe.
And, last time they were, like, close on spec, or they're just... They're cracking down because they want to make everything full electric.
Right.
But it's not going to work. California is
it's not going to happen.
It's a
Car culture's
people drive.
too
Yeah, people drive, people ride. People cross country just to drive down the 101. Everybody has to do it. And I'm going to keep doing it. And it's a beautiful ride. I'm going to ride my bike there. I'm going to ride my big cruiser, and I'm going. But. Yeah, it's not gonna work, It's and then they could start getting into politics and whatnot, but we don't have to go there. We just know it's plain and simple. California is known for their cars,
exactly,
hot rods, going to the beach. You know what I mean? Sunset Boulevard, all that bullshit. That's California, man. It's California, and up north, up down south in the valley, we drive. Here, that's what's beautiful about it. It has its own. Cultures everywhere you go. Central California, Southern, but you see it everywhere. You see lifted trucks, you see the...
Dude, it's 75 and sunny out today.
Exactly. You see it all. So
beautiful day to drive around.
Oh, yeah.
There's always work. There's people passing through from Southern California that are going to Yosemite that have never been, and they're like, oh, my dad said we had to stop here. So they look this, this place up. So it has its own fame. And,
that's pretty cool.
With good reason. It's a really nice looking shop.
Yeah.
But who knows down the line? We'll see what happens. But we're always going to be wrenching. There's always going to be work. There's always going to be Adam bringing me something new, something rare.
Those cars, man.
Something that...
I think I got 4 sitting here right now. So.
Yeah, something that nobody else has. And it's like, yep, let's try to find some parts.
Nice.
But it never ends. It's never going to end. And like I said, full electric, it's great and all, but wear and tear. You still need windshield wipers. You know what I mean?
Still gonna need tires.
Don't forget your blinker fluid.
Cabin air filter. You're gonna need something, and they're probably gonna make it, really hard to get to.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to take apart half the dash, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, things are gonna.
I've never worked on one, but
bearings. I mean,
yeah.
But even brakes have sensors now. Like they have the wear sensors connected to them, so that costs even more.
Every time.
Yeah.
So Yeah, there's, like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect vehicle. If there is, mechanics would be obsolete.
Right.
You know, there's no such thing as a mechanic in a can. You can't buy this spray and it's going to take care of it. It's going to be a Band-Aid. You know, all you can do is fix it the right way. And really, you're just going to go about it again. It could cause further damage down the road.
Yep.
Like people do this Blue Devil stuff.
I was just about literally, that's what killed me.
Yeah, and you know they don't realize, hey, you're running through your whole cooling system. Mm-hmm. You know, it's gonna clog up the water pump. You know, it's gonna ruin a lot of things. It's a sludge. You know, yeah, it's a sealant, but you don't really just replace it, man.
Yeah, just fix it.
You know, if you're gonna sell it and you do that, I mean, it's kind of shady. You know,
Big time.
But you know, it is what it is. I've seen crazy, yeah.
Sorry, can't see that.
So-
It's just a
Don't point at me.
podcast, but
Check it out.
I did not put Blue Devil in my car.
There was this customer that was going to sell his truck, and the rear diff was whining. The rear differential was whining. And he came with his dad, right? His dad was old. And his dad had a bag of dog food, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, and I'm a rookie. I'm changing oil, just starting, you know, right? Full time. And I'm like, what's going on? And his dad, he could, like, when you're so old, you mumble, and someone has to understand you and translate for you. And the old man, you know, just handshaking, handing him the bag of dog food, and he's telling the owner, Jim, he goes, yeah, throw that in the rear diff, it's going to quiet it up. What?
whoa.
No way. Shit you not.
God.
It stopped whining. What it did is, it, like, because it's dog food, it's just...
Wet or dry?
Dry.
I was gonna say.
So it's like putting sawdust in your transmission.
Exactly, and it's doing the same thing, but it's better than the sawdust because it's more spongy, so it's going to absorb it more and it's going to coat those gears.
Which is giving it crazy viscosity.
And it's just it's just a Band-Aid because he's selling it, and I'm like, dude, you didn't do that here, man. You didn't do that here. You didn't do that here. But yeah, that's some of the crazy. There we go.
That's cool. That's innovative as shit.
It's clever. It's clever.
Yeah.
If I need to get down the
I'd be
road,
pissed if I
will
bought
do
his
it.
car.
Yeah.
Dry dog food. Well, whoever opens up that rear diff is just gonna see Play-Doh.
Yeah.
You know, it's just gonna be nasty. Yeah, like real thick. Yeah. You're not even like a milkshake. It's gonna be like Play-Doh.
I think I'd rather find a rat in the vent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've done that too.
Easier to clean out.
I've done that too. I found a rat under radiator on a Chevy Tahoe before.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
gross.
pleasant.
But the coolant just disintegrated the rat. You know, I got a bag on my hand, picked it up by the tail, and it just fell apart. So if you ever need to, get rid of a body,
Yeah, I guess.
just stick them in some coolant, and they're just gonna.
That was a Breaking Bad episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't forget to get the right plastic tin, though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't want it to eat through.
Exactly. Common sense. Yeah. Hey, just like here, common sense. You can't buy it. They don't sell it on the truck. You gotta have it. It's we can't issue it to you.
Nice.
If we have it, it is allowed.
Yeah.
But
common sense is encouraged.
it is highly encouraged. And I've been there and have guys that they had all the will to want to learn, but they're dummies. They're plain and simple, and you gotta really think.
We get a lot of opportunity to get hurt.
You got to think in the long run, this guy's going to get hurt. He's going to hurt others. Mm-hmm. It's nothing personal, but this just ain't for you. Do something more assembly line that you don't have to really think that much for yourself.
Yeah,
but,
checkout register or something.
Yeah.
Retail safer for you.
Exactly. Something that's not going to be too much of a thinking on you.
Right.
I don't want you to hurt yourself.
You drop a car on someone, you get a problem.
Yeah. I don't want you to start a fire there with all that brain power, so let's just stop, bud. And it's not personal, but I gotta look out for the shop. I gotta look out for me. I gotta look out for the next guy, because sometimes you could be underneath the car and you're telling somebody shut off the engine, start it, and it could be that serious,
right?
Where it's not like why, or no, it's now, because it could be
catastrophic.
Limb, eyesight, it could be your life.
Yeah.
So it's like when it's now, it's now. It's not, why? Are you sure? It's start it, shut it off. Yeah. So you gotta be, and it's a brotherhood, man. It's a bond. It really is, because
you gotta trust the people you're working with.
Yeah, I'm underneath the car and I'm telling you, gun it, or to power brake it, meaning you're stepping on the brake, hitting the gas so I could see it flex, and I'm underneath it, you know, and I'm like, I really need to know that you're not, you know.
You don't want to be nervous under there.
Yeah, exactly.
What's this idiot going to do?
Yeah, and I'll be like, look, are you sure? Are you safe? Your foot's not going to slip off. You're good, right? Hold on. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You go into the car. I'm going to hit the brakes.
Yeah. And hey, you know, I gotta look out. Gotta look out for everything. Even the big boss, he, you know, slips up on stuff sometimes, and oh man, it could be terrible. I got stories all day. You know, he's trying to see where the noise is coming from on a vehicle. He lifted up the front because it was a van, not thinking and no big deal. I was about to put it in drive and gun it, and I was like, hey, it's an all-wheel drive.
Oh. Yeah, that could have been bad.
And it was right in front of that wall.
Oh,
it would have launched into the neighbor. That would have been lovely.
Oh yeah.
And it was the boss, and he's you know how Jim is, you know, Billy Badass. He just looks over. Oh yeah, right. And I'm like, no bullshit. That would have been bad, man.
The neighbor already doesn't like you.
That would have been bad. The neighbor already doesn't like you. Yeah,
Oh,
that would have been real bad. But yeah, close calls for sure, man. You know, even like I said, it could be that fast. Tow truck driver. We're trying to put a car up on the tow truck, and we're walking it up with jacks because the lower control arm's completely broken. So we're walking it with jacks. Tow truck driver is scooting blocks back because we're scooting it back, handling the tow truck. I'm watching everything, telling him keep going, stop, whatever. One of the jacks hits, and uneven paver, and it gets stuck, and the truck. I seen it rock one way and start to come down. Oh, shit. I reached, I grabbed the tow truck driver and I pulled him out. And it was kind of like, thanks, man. Yeah, no, bullshit. It was like, whew, yeah.
Go change your drawers, man. Come back.
It was funny because, he's a tow truck driver, so they're, fairly clean. They don't get dirty. They don't work on cars, right? He had a huge grease handprint on the back of and I'm like, yeah, you gotta go explain that one to your wife. Like, damn, you should have left me under there.
At least it wasn't glitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Glitter gets everywhere.
Yeah, and you can't get rid of that perfume, man.
No. Now, Soch is worried because there's glitter on the tree behind him there.
Oh, yeah,
he's got to explain that later. So.
As long as you don't go home smelling like sweat and shame, you'll be all right.
I respect that.
Come home full of regret.
Man. Yeah, man, we could talk stories all day, man. All day long. But, yeah.
Nice. Well, I appreciate your time, man. We're going to let you get back to work, and we're going to call this an episode until the next one. They're coming for you anyway, so.
Uh-oh.
Right,
yep, it's that time. Thanks, Carlos.
You're welcome, brother.
Thanks, Venice, for letting us hang out in your waiting room here, and we'll catch you on the next one.